Hi everyone. One of the most common questions when you're into experience design is what do you do? And it's oftentimes one of the most difficult things to explain what we actually do in experience design. Now, today let's talk about that as part of this first session of my daily UX or daily experience design sessions. Hi, I'm Ellie, and I'm the founder of User Experience Philippines. I am a customer experience head of a large digital transformation office in a conglomerate. And one of the most common questions that we get asked is, what is it that we actually do? And I'll try to answer that today in our first New Year's episode of our daily UX or daily CX. The purposes of this series, we'll do this for at least hopefully for the entire January. I will refer to experience design to mean both UX and CX because what's the difference? I'll talk more about that in the future episode. But what's the difference between UX and CX? Basically the same thing. But for our purposes, I'll just talk about experience design. So how do you explain to your grandma what you do? How can you explain yourself to your grandmother in 30 seconds? Okay. So first, let's talk about what is user experience. So here, Norman Nielsen Group, one of the most famous groups who teach about UX, user experience encompasses all aspects of the end user's interaction with the company, its services, and its product. Another famous website is interactiondesign.org, and they say that user experience is the process design teams use to create products that provide meaningful and relevant experiences to users. Example, telling that to your grandmother. Hi, grandma. Uh, oh, hi. What is it that you do now at work? Oh, I am a user experience designer. I teach. It's the process design teams use to create products and make meaningful and relevant experiences to users. Oh, what does that mean? Okay, so it's pretty difficult to do that, right? Uh, so what has worked for me when I'm explaining my job to my family, to my parents, to friends, to relatives? I usually follow something that I learned when I was in the startup scene. It's called it's a pitch format, and the format goes like this. Goes by saying, you know how blank. What we do, what I do is blank, so that blank. So that's the basic format. And when you're asked by your grandmother or your sister, your someone who's not into design work, you can follow the same pattern. You know how what I do, so that because let's do that example right now. When your grandmother asks you, "What is it that you do?" Hello, son, daughter, grandson, granddaughter. What do you do? Okay, you know the last time you went to the airport, and you know how hard it was to go to the line, and you know all through that and go through all that pain. Oh yes, I know, I remember. But what I do is I make it easier for you to do that next time, using using tools that make it easy for you to do it. Oh, how do you do it? Okay, and then you explain, oh, I do this. I do it through something that's called a website, Nana. Here's a website, and I do it so that your life would be easier. So that's pretty bad example, but that's the general idea that has worked for me so far. Uh, um, you say you try to make it relevant to them, and then um, you explain how you do it. Uh, so you know how well what I do, and I do it, and I do it in pitching when we do it. You know how it's hard to get a ride at 1 a.m. in the mornings, how to get a taxi. Well, what I do is to make it easy for you to get a taxi with an app called, for instance, you're working in Grab with an app called Grab, and I actually make what you see in the app. It's easier to explain your job when you format yourself that way. Okay, so that's how you explain yourself to your grandmother in 30 seconds. You know how you went to the hotel and wanted to see your grandson in Europe. Well, what I do is I make it easy for you to talk to your grandson in Europe with an app called Here. Look, so you do the same thing uh, to your grandmother, or your sister, or your family. Now, if you're wanting to go into the user experience design career path, um, a good reference for that is the here Skills Future from Singapore. Thank you, Singaporean government, or skillsfuture.gov.sg. Um, Normally, when you go through your career path, there are multiple ways, multiple areas that you can go through. So, for instance, and it's great that they organized it for per business, design, innovation, and technology. So, a lot of people I know either start here. So, for me, I started more like a business facilitator or a strategist. That's how I. But a lot of you in UX Philippines start off as a visual designer or visual storyteller. And those are two different things. Visual storyteller often involves branding, how to create a brand, how to make that message into a brand. And we'll go through this in our this series, UX series, right? And or you can be you're actually making the product, the design of the product, the interface itself. Okay? And that leads to a different career path. Or you can be a design researcher, which leads to another career path, uh, which means you're making sure that what you're designing is actually relevant for the end user. So we'll talk more about this in the series throughout this month uh, as we go along. Just to give you a big overview of what user experience career paths you can take at the start. Okay? Or you may be already somewhere here, maybe already in the middle. Okay, what else? What's your career path moving forward? Okay, how much do UX designers make in the Philippines? All right, this is from the website payscale.com, but we will be coming out in state of the UX in the Philippines. We have done that research, and we'll soon publish that. Thanks to our research team in UX Philippines, so you have a clearer idea where you stack, where you are versus everybody else. But here, from the data points of, I think this is 53 people. Uh, the salary range yearly ranges from 358 to 510 mid career, or as you go along, which I think is, for me, this might be low because 350, what's 350, 358 divided by 13? I'm assuming it includes 13 month pay, right? 358,000 divided by 13 is around 27. Probably a beginner rate, 27 to 30. I think it's probably around 35,000 now, my estimate, for beginners in user experience design, or experience design. But let's go 510,000 divided by 13. That's pretty low. I can tell you, I know a lot of people who are, especially those who are working in telcos like Globe. I'm gonna tell you your rates, Globe people. Uh, I know that your rates can go up to from 50 to 100K per month. People in Globe are earning that much. I know. But that is reflective of, if you can prove that you have that training, you have certification. That's why they have that rate, because a lot of them have gone through. In Globe, for instance, they have gone through, some of them, number of people I know are HFI already certified, HFI certified, Norman Nielsen certified. So that's why you're able to ask for that, those kinds of rates. Actually, we have lower rates compared to developers, coders. Coders are very uh, high skill. So, but it's, again, it's depending on your career path. Okay. Let's see where you want to take your career. Right. So that's what we did today. We talked about how you can explain your job to your grandmother in 30 seconds. We talked briefly about career paths, and we'll talk more about that throughout this month. And the last one is what's your average rate? And we'll revisit this as soon as we get more data from the State of the UX in the Philippines survey. This is a part of what I explained yesterday. I'm doing daily lessons for you, free daily lessons for you. We'll try to do it for the entire month of January, and I hope you find value. If you have questions, make sure to ask them in the Facebook in our Facebook group, or just message me. And you can go through the website, follow me, subscribe to the YouTube channel. Ellie.cx leads to our YouTube channel, and I'll talk more about this, including productivity, career, health, tech. Okay, so this is our daily UX CX Ellie.cx. I'm a customer experience manager. So Ellie.cx. All right. See you tomorrow around the same time in the morning, and just you can watch it later. I try to do it before my day job kicks in. Right? I'll see you guys tomorrow. Bye.